The tragedy of the commons is the problem in which common resources in a home, community, or even the world are doomed for destruction because all individuals desire the most to benefit. A demand for the precious resources becomes greater than the supply, as the greed of man pursues as much of the supply as possible. At first, the man who takes the most resources gains from the increase, and the others are negatively affected. But eventually, all men will try to take more resources than are available, and the supply will die out. This will leave the greedy individuals with less than they started with. An open resource that is supposed to be beneficial to all becomes the downfall for everybody who depends on the limited resource, because each individual takes advantage of the limited supply. Even if the resource is renewable, the tragedy of the commons can still occur if the resource is used up faster than it can renew. In summary, the tragedy of the commons occurs when common people use all the resources available, rendering their own tragedy. An example of the tragedy of the commons is leaving the refrigerator open for longer than is needed. This wastes electricity, which drives the monthly energy bill sky high. A family with just enough to get by saves enough money to invest in a refrigerator. Once it is installed, the mom quickly runs to the store to stock up on food. While she puts the groceries away, she keeps the refrigerator door open because it takes longer to open and shut the door every time she adds food than to just leave it ajar. The dad sees this and realizes that no harm is done in being lazy and keeping the refrigerator open. Later that week, the dad is starving after working all day. So he opens the refrigerator, takes out stuff to make a sandwich, and leaves the refrigerator door open while he makes the sandwich, telling himself it will be quick. It takes him several minutes to make the sandwich, all the while the door is open. A few days later, the children come inside from playing an intense game of baseball. They are sweaty and want to cool down, so they leave the refrigerator door ajar for half an hour while they relax in the cool air. They had seen their mother and father leave the door open for extended periods of time also, so they figured it would be fine to do so as well. The cycle of leaving a refrigerator open for long time intervals continues for weeks, and the poor family doesn't realize how much they're hurting themselves until the electricity bill comes. Their electricity cost has skyrocketed from their average of $125 a month to nearing $275 a month since they invested in the refrigerator. Sadly, the family cannot afford to pay the bill, and they have to sell their refrigerator to pay for the cost. So while the family tried to benefit themselves in the beginning, they ended up destroying their privilege. A possible solution to this example of tragedy of the commons would be for the family to know exactly what they want from the refrigerator before they open it. If they are not able to identify what it is they want from the refrigerator, then they will not be allowed to open the fridge. This family should also have a time limit for how long the refrigerator can be open. And if they step away from the refrigerator for even a second, they need to shut the refrigerator door. If the rules are violated, the individual's privileges to use the refrigerator should be taken away for however long they kept the door open or the number of times they opened it without knowing what they were looking for. Always shutting the refrigerator door may seem like an inconvenience, but it will save electricity and money at the end of the month, as well as prevent the tragedy of the commons in their own home.